do. Oh my God, you're a genius. Uh-oh, we're in trouble, man. Here comes drum roll. Come on, belt one out, Nathan. Give it to us.
Hello.
And thank you for watching. That's a little too much. What's this? Oh my God, he's got a little one.
Yeah, babysitting.
There's a baby. Okay, I'll put my my curse word. No cursing.
Oh, you're right. She doesn't understand any of it yet. What did you understand? She's certainly not going to understand over a screen, if that makes sense.
What is she looking at?
It's my microphone, I think.
That's a lot. Babe.
Say hello. Say hello then. Okay, don't then.
What a cutie. What a cutie. Kids always run up to me and they're like, they clamp. Happened at the car show. I had a little Indian kid strapped to my leg. Parents thought it was hilarious. I was like, okay, it was funny for a little bit, but not letting go. I love it when they like eject fluids, just like nonchalant, just like okay.
That's
Well, maybe like fluids at the top, but how old is she?
He's 10 months old.
10 months. What is she gonna do now? Just like crawl around?
What do you mean?
Like what happens at this part of the day? I never had a little.
Like, what does she do? What does she just generally do?
Yeah, like what is she just gonna like mill around?
Yeah, generally she just walks around in a circle. So I've got the lounge set up so she can toddle around, holding on to stuff because she can't quite walk on her own yet. So she's holding on to the radiator. She'll then hold on to the hi-fi. She'll then hold on to the baby pit. Then she'll hold on to the table. Then she'll get to the sofa. Then she'll get to the scoocher moo, which is like a push along thing, and go across the carpet. And then she'll crawl across me. So she'll just do that all day until I play with her.
That's like adults. Adults do the same thing.
Yeah, she'll just go around and around in circles, and definitely.
Exactly.
Training herself well to be a factory worker.
And grunt. They grunt and walk in circles. There you go. Excellent.
I've kind of killed the conversation coming on, haven't I? I thought it was very entertaining while I was watching. I was laughing a lot.
Me letting that was really, that's some awful stuff. Billy Nye.
You were vetting Jed Skeptic as well, weren't you? Checking out his channel.
Getty never comes on. I don't know what it is. He can't have like him and I can't exist in the same space at the same time. Something might kind of like akin to Ghostbusters, like crossing the streams, a wormhole open up. I don't hate the guy. See, a lot of people have such strong emotions, like for Lord Stephen Christ. I get such a kick out of how pissed off people get. Well, you're not the fucking Lord. You're not the Lord of me. This guy think he is fucking Lord Stephen. Oh, you Lord? Lord of what? It's fucking soft. He's a regular guy. The nerve of that guy in his concave earth telling me that he's the Lord God. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Lord Stephen Chabulon.
I had a conversation with him. He was like in Italy or something like that. Girlfriend there. Guy makes pretty good videos. I don't get the whole concave earth thing though. I don't, but fuck man, he's pretty active for someone who doesn't even have a third of the following that flat earth, the quote unquote pseudo following happening here.
Your Dick Earth video was priceless. That was, you just get a really well timed video. The pace of it was just perfect. The Dick Earth one, you know what I'm talking about, where you're looking through like a crack in the window at a bird or something.
Yeah. I gotta see if that's still I made
at the end. Was it intentional when you sort of faded to some kind of blur? Was that intentional or just the way it worked out?
That was my LED. I lost my it's like,
is that for growing weed?
What? No, it's not hydroponic. It's like it looks like one of those. Remember that toy, that kid Starbright? A bunch of LEDs. It's a badass light though, man. It's like 3,000 lumens or something, and it hooks.
I've got the same light. I've got 3 of them.
You had to outdo me.
I'm not trying to outdo you. I'm just saying I've got the same light. They're good lights, but to be honest, they're not as good as something else I got. I don't know if you guys watched Theora Hypothesis, but he recommended some indoor lighting, and I just went out and bought it. It was just some curly bulbs. And
I was subbed to his channel forever, and then I couldn't. He just kept on making too many videos, good videos. Like, he knows a shitload about Fuji cameras, that's for sure. You'd think he was selling them for them, but he was just doing video after video after video, and I had to, like, jump out of it. I'm sure I missed some good stuff. But, yeah, apparently I see that on top of a lot of cameras, mounted to, like, the top. I had a camera around here. This is the best thing I got.
Is that for holding your iPhone?
Yeah, like the Colossus. But this one is not like the shit ones, because it actually has a little wheel that nobody can see. You spin that, and then it's got a little spring action. Not a good hand model, but I can't believe I fucking lost my adapter. I can't use a microphone. Shit. I had a tip ring sleeve, a TRRS cable that allowed me to adapt and plug a microphone into this MacBook Air. All right, let me see if I can get some Dick Earth here. Now you're making me want to watch that video. Oh, here we go. There we go. I'm going to copyright strike myself.
Before I found Dick Earth, before I found Dick Earth, or should I say before Dick Earth found me, it was concave. It's a complicated, somewhat vagina-esque. It would make sense, because it was a pussy. And everything. Because I was empty inside. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself, Pops, okay? But I'm not empty anymore. I have so much Dick Earth in me. It's there every time I sit down. Every time I need to stand up. The government is the ones who keep us on the spinning ball. Dick Earth just hasn't found them yet. And when it does, they'll understand. Dick Earth is coming for you, whether you like it or not.
Get it? Get it? Dick Earth is coming for you.
Awesome.
Oh, well,
Can I show you my equivalent of what you had? So you've got like that thing that you attach your phone to, and I've got a similar thing, right? But I actually paid for this. This was about, I think it'd be about $40, about 30 English pounds. But it's exactly the same thing as you've got, but I got one of them as well. It came with a selfie stick, the one you've got, but it's the same thing, but it's just a bit more robust. So it's like a clamp, and then it's got a camera thread on the bottom. And I bought one of these for Patricia Steer, right? Because she wasn't making any camera videos. Do you know what I mean? She was just doing the Hangouts. So I said, start using your phone a bit more. She's like, it's a bit rough and a bit, unsteady. So I got one of those so she could put it on a tripod. And as far as I know, she still hasn't used it. She's probably had it 6 months, but she's still not used it and got it out and actually screwed her what's it called, shoulder pod. Yeah, you don't like me talking, do you? She's not actually screwed her shoulder pod to a tripod and done a video with it yet, to my knowledge.
Does she have a camera?
Say again?
Does she have a camera? Or is she like,
Yeah, she's got a brand new iPhone. She's got an iPhone 7. So, she's made a few cat videos, but she just holds them, and it's all shaky rather than putting it on the tripod. But that's like a lot of things. She's still doing up her house. That's right. Yes, that's right. So until she's officially finished the inside out, she doesn't want to use anything. So she's got all this new stuff and she wants to keep it pristine until she's officially finished. So there we go.
I bet she has the box to like her microphone and everything.
Oh, yeah.
You ever have people like that? Like keep the box for everything?
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm the same. Oh.
I'll do that for certain things.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Like when it comes to professional foam lances, I'll keep the box. This is a professional foam lance. This is hardcore. This is no Wally World shit. That was a $100 foam gun. It was a hard purchase. I was like, $100 for a fucking foam gun.
What's a foam gun for?
For power washer.
For cleaning the car?
It shoots out foam to the point where the foam ends up like shaving cream. The consistency is super thick. Whereas other like cheaper imitation things, it comes out just like bubbles. It comes out like suds. It actually sprays it to the point where it sticks and doesn't drip down the side. So you shoot the car, cover it entirely with foam, and it looks like it's covered in snow, completely white. And then the soap starts to, break down a little bit, and then you can just agitate and do what you got to do. It's fun too. It's nothing like
sounds cool.
What's that? Nothing like shooting foam. But I have a gas power washer, and it's fucking bitch to lug around.
Can't do it anymore. I used to love washing cars. Now
I love it.
Back. I can't be asked doing that.
I love watching. It's one of those things. I don't know if it's like a cleaning thing or.
No, I totally get it. I used to love it. I've got a whole, like probably most people our age, a great big box full of all sorts of detailing stuff and car washing stuff. And, I used to spend hours and hours. I'd spend an entire day doing the car. You wash it, you rinse it. And that's really the starting point for cleaning it, because then you're into polishing it and waxing it and filling the paint and painting in the details. And, I'd have all the chipsticks and paints. So any little marks, you'd fill in the paint. And, you'd want the car pristine at the end of it. And when it was, and you detailed the wheels and the wheel arches and insides of the wheels, which most people are never going to even look at. You can see the shiny wheel when you look at the brake caliper. That sort of stuff I was all fussy about. But now, like I say, you do it and you go, is it worth the bad bag? Probably not.
I mean, I go bonkers with it. Your car's black, isn't it?
The cars I buy, or say buy, that would order, they were normally company cars. I would order black cars. I like black cars, but they're the most difficult to keep clean.
That's true, but they're the most rewarding when they are clean.
Yeah, for the 30 minutes after you'd cleaned them, that they'd stay clean. It's like, wow, I've got the best looking car on the road. Take it around the block and you come back and go, he's cleaning again.
Does it really rain that much in England? I mean, to the point where there's a mist?
Oh, man. Do you remember a few years ago when they had that volcanic eruption in Iceland? I was stuck in Germany for about a week. They just grounded all the planes. Maybe not a week, it's 3 or 4 days. I can't remember how long it was. Anyway, for a period. And I got back to the airport and the car was just completely covered in volcanic ash. Just a thick layer of it. And it was horrible, man. It really ruined. It didn't do any favours to the paint. It did not like the volcanic ash. But we're always getting stuff like that, tree sap, and not volcanic ash isn't that common, I'll be honest. But generally, there's a lot of shit that's in the air here, and cars don't stay clean very long. We bought a garage just for that reason, to keep my wife's car clean.
See, that's the thing. In this garage, I can fit my car, but then I can't get out of it. I'd have to crawl through the back, open up the trunk, because it's only a 9x18. But I've heard that one volcano eruption is the equivalent to all of mankind's garbage or abuse to the ozone layer shit, to the atmosphere. Remember that ozone layer? It sounds so 80s. Got to protect it.
I think you're right. It's the CO2 levels that the volcano will release are absolutely astronomical, by comparison to what they tell us we're producing and should be checking ourselves over. Carbon taxes as a result of just one volcano would, absolutely completely eclipse anything we do in terms of the amount of CO2 it pumps out.
They'll do anything to make us sound like we're ruining things for them. Just when you think things are great, now we're ruining everything.
I don't know. I think the Earth has got a way of finding its own equilibrium. If there's more CO2 in the air, the plants will absorb more CO2. It's like it's party time for all the plants. Therefore, they'll all thrive and therefore produce more oxygen. Therefore, it will really reach an equilibrium. I could say it. It will reach an equilibrium eventually anyway.
Yeah, I don't think even if we tried to destroy the planet, we couldn't come close. Nature has its way of fighting back. But nowadays with HARP, I don't know how far they can go with weather modification. Once again, I haven't seen it. I think that they're probably fucking around with stuff, but I don't know. It's just like chemtrails. Everyone knows so much about chemtrails, but nobody knows who the fuck is doing it. Planes are regulated all hell. The FAA's got to know everything about every plane that's flying, and no one can figure this fucking shit out. That's why if I had lasers, that was a big no-no around New York after 9/11. Lasers and planes, people were getting, or I've heard stories of people getting arrested for shooting a laser at an airplane and then them pinpointing where the guy was and arresting them.
The only observation I can say in terms of chemtrails is the chemtrail activity seems to have upped here recently in England. It's gone up. You should get used to this kind of stuff. But they seem to have lowered the height of all the commercial jets. Now, nobody notices this stuff, literally nobody. So when I'm delivering, I'll point it out to some of the customers and say, look how low that commercial flight is. You can see the people in the windows. Previously they were much, much, much higher. The commercial flights going over us because they're going into Birmingham Airport. But you could hear them, but you could kind of make them out if you looked up in the sky because they were so high. Now you can see the people in the windows. That's how low they are. And the reason, as far as I can ascertain, is they're keeping out of the way of the chemtrail planes. The chemtrail planes are still going overhead and the commercial planes are keeping below that level. But that has only happened here recently. It's a recent thing. And like I say, I look around when one of these planes go overhead and I'm like that, you know, just in amazement at how low the planes are. And I look around at the people around me and they don't bat an eyelid. No one notices this crap. Same with chemtrails. For years, I didn't look at it and didn't investigate it, but I always noticed. So look at that plane. What's it doing? Looks like a jet taking off, a rocket taking off, you know, with the great line of plume of smoke. It always used to remind me of how the shuttle looked, you know, on the TV. I never saw it in the flesh, but you know, the shuttle would leave a trail like a chemtrail. So you'd see these planes go up, and I remember even in the 90s thinking, looks like a rocket taking off. But you just forget about it. So when you, like with Flat Earth, I then came across chemtrails after Flat Earth. You know, it's a conspiracy thing, and it wasn't like I had to think, oh, are they really there? Are they really doing it? Straight away, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. I didn't have to think about it because I'd already observed it. But like most people, just put it to the back of my mind and not giving it too much thought.
You've never seen a space shuttle? I mean, or a rocket launch?
No, not in person. No, I'm in the UK.
When I was a kid. I saw it. It was really, really bright. It was down in Florida, and I was in Orlando, and I remember they were having a launch. This was in like late 80s, and it was like a miniature sun, like the brightness, the intensity of the light coming off the thing, and it was, you know, going up until the point where it reached the clouds cover, and then you couldn't see it anymore. But it was a bright fucking little, like, it was bright.
How fast was it? How fast did it go up?
It wasn't that fast. It was maybe it took a good minute, 60 seconds for it to reach the clouds, which doesn't
that amaze you though? I mean, when you see gunships launching missiles with the same technology, you know, they're firing off booster rockets essentially. You see them go whoosh, gone.
Yeah.
Yet you see the shuttle go up, and it looks like it's been filmed in slow motion.
Yeah, it should be just like.
Should be gone like that, but I don't know. When you hear the ideas of it being a helium balloon and lit with special effects, smoke and mirrors, as crazy as that sounds, you think, yeah, it does kind of make sense.
But I mean, it's within their facility to pull off a rocket launch. You know, they got all that money. You can see these things. You can go to Cape Canaveral and you can look at the rockets, and there's no doubt in my mind that they could create big gas tank fill it with rocket fuel and ignite and launch the thing. It's crazy how it just kind of how it is so slow, but no one in their right mind would ever get on top of a rocket because you can't control it. And the thing,
I'm pretty sure what they're actually launching is a half scale model, which they just crash and then they launched the shuttle from a different location and then did what they did. Have you seen? I think he's called Dilly Gee is the name of the channel, where he's basically postulating that the shuttle was a zero-G plane, only there to film zero-G footage, which has then gone on to form the base of the CGI technology we now see when they're faking it completely. Have you seen that guy's videos?
No, I haven't seen his videos, but where I stand with the whole zero-G vomit comet thing, that would be a lot of editing. You know, CD talks about this in depth because he knows a lot about rendering, 3D graphics and stuff. And for them to have a plane to drop and get 45 seconds of footage and then seamlessly tie that in just doesn't make sense. I think they're using...
Yeah, you need to see this guy, Dilly Gee. I'll send you a link to one of his videos. 120 seconds he reckons they can push it to. And he's got what he calls the pattern. So he in his first or second video claiming that the space shuttle could be a zero-G plane, he says throughout the rest of my videos I'm going to describe it as such, which is that there's a pattern that you can see, which is the maximum amount of time is about 90 seconds. And then he worked it out with the maths and showed the graphs for where you get zero-G and how to push it a bit further. And he's saying if you can get the plane higher, you can obviously get longer footage. And all they were ever trying to do was just hoax you for that little bit longer. But he was saying, no, it's absolutely not tied together with editing. Each and every one of the pieces of footage is genuine zero-G footage. In other words, they are in free fall for a given period of time, up to 120 seconds. And then he also compares it to testimony. So when they're talking about certain aspects of things like spacewalks, that you would think that they would be absolutely elated about. They're leaving the shuttle, going out in space, doing repairs or fiddling with the Hubble, whatever they're doing. You'd think that would be absolutely amazing. They'd turn around, look and see Earth, incredible, high up as you get. Whereas that, if you listen to their no, leave that alone. If you listen to their testimonies, the thing they're actually excited about when they describe it is the zero-G stuff, the stuff where they're in free fall on this zero-G plane, the space shuttle. But when they're describing the space walks, they're not excited at all. They've got no passion about it. Again, it's totally circumstantial, but it seems to point towards them actually doing genuine zero-G free-fall stuff, and that being really exciting. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I say, this guy's videos, I must have spent 2 days watching his videos. I've just gone back and started rewatching them again. But IPS originally switched me on to him, and the video he used was him doing like a Mickey take out of the film Seven. No, don't touch that. So in Seven, he's got the head in the box thing. Well, he did a Mickey take out of that, saying it was the globe in the box. That was the video that he shared. But it's that guy that's done all these. The shuttle is a zero-G plane.
Well, they'd have to get up to about, I'm thinking 80,000 feet, and then drop the plane and go into free fall, at which point the plane is now a cylinder, a hollowed out cylinder with wings, and the people in it are in free space while the plane is now flying directly towards the ground.
Yeah, so basically.
Whatever that free fall amount of time is, but I don't think they can get any higher than 80,000. These airplanes, you can't push a plane that size that high.
Well, like I say, have a check out of his videos, because he's broken it down. I mean, from what he said on his first or second video, he spent 18 months compiling footage. Tedious work, to produce maybe 18 months worth of work to produce work. If you watched it from start to finish, it'd probably take you 6 or 7 hours to watch all of his stuff. But yeah, he puts together a good case. Let's just put it that way. A very, very good case.
What's his name?
I think it's called Dilly Gee. I'm gonna look it up for you now, just so it's on this broadcast. And just give me a couple of seconds.
Dilly. I got Dilly. Ollie Gee.
If you're searching, type in the space shuttle is a zero-G plane. Yeah, Dilly. Dilly. It's Gil. Not G. Gil. Gill. I'll just say that once more, just for your audience. Dilly Gil. Dilly space Gill. And if you want to search by video, it's the space shuttle was a zero-G plane. Yeah, very good stuff. Well, like I say, I lost a couple of days, if not more, just watching his stuff.
I mean, to me, it's a dead giveaway that, with the fucking hair. Because I mean, if just like chemtrails, if this stuff was for our benefit, we would understand it, and there would be total transparency. We would understand it. We would understand what's going on, why are they doing it, their motives, and all that shit. But the fact that we don't have that information means something's wrong. Anybody with something with any kind of stake financially in any kind of event has any suspicions, they're going to check into it. And at this point, it's down to who cares enough, because all you got to do is make some phone calls. And it seems like a lot of people online don't want to do that. They just want to kind of posture and go through the motions, talking about they're going to do this, going to do that, bitch about this, bitch about that, when get up and fucking go. Get up and go to the airport and start asking questions. The film crew thing is going to throw people off. Like if you walk up to like this, if you walk up to someone like this, excuse me, they're asking questions, it's not going to happen. So it has to be done like, those glasses that have cameras mounted on them, with like the camera in the eyepiece, something like that. Because any kind of, film crew or guy with an over-the-shoulder camera, no one's going to answer any questions. But I think something could be done. I mean, I called up Intermagnet, which is a company that does geomagnetic surveying. And I spoke to that dude for a while, for like an hour, asking him about flat Earth stuff.
Now check this video. The whole video is about a minute long.
Yeah, this shit with the fucking hair, it's got to go. What the hell is that? Is there a fucking... Let's call NASA right now. We call the NASA 1-800 number. Customer service. Okay, I got a phone number.
Before you make that phone call, I'm gonna disappear, because I've got to take my kid to a thing called Gymboree, where she does dancing and stuff like that. Crash. So I've got to get her ready, get a skirt on her. Thank you very much for having me, though.
No problem.